Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to do a long-term review of Decathlon's MT500 Trek rucksack and answer two questions. Is it any good and would I buy it again? Now I know most of you won't stick around further than the first 30 seconds, so let me give you a quick summary up front. Is this a good bag? Yes, it really is. For £89 it packs a lot of features and is really good value. Decathlon have done it again, no questions whatsoever. Would I buy it again? No. And I feel really awkward saying that because for what it is and the price it is, it's a really good bit of kit. In fact, it's probably the most full-featured, good value piece of kit that I'd never buy again. But if you want to find out why that is, you have to stick around for the rest of the video. Did you see what I did there? So before I go into the specs of this bag, I just want to talk a little bit about my experience with it. I bought this for the start of the 2020 season, but obviously didn't get out too much that year because of COVID. But in the last couple of years, I've had some really good experiences with this bag. I took this into the Cairngorms on my Scottish holiday in 2021, and I've also been on some really big, long local walks with this. Now, I don't use this bag extensively because it's more of an overnight bag, but I've certainly used it enough where I've got a good sense for what it's about. Even though this rucksack is 3 years old now, it's still current at Decathlon and it's on sale for £89 with a few minor updates, including a new name, which is the Trek Air as opposed to the Trek, but I'll call out the updates as I go along. So in terms of pure specs, this is a 50 litre rucksack and Decathlon call it a 50+10. And what that means is there's a floating lid here at the back, and that means that when you pack the bag up, there's a skirt inside, so the whole bag can extend and the floating lid will expand upwards like this, so you can get an extra 10 litres. Now, if you do that, it does mean that there's some of the internal skirt showing as opposed to the outer fabric, so it's not really being designed for that in regular use, but it will give you an extra 10 litres at a pinch if you need to. The bag weighs 1.7 kilos, and that's actually comparable with a lot of the top brands out there, you know, when you sort of rule out all the ultralight stuff. So if you look at two bags from Osprey, you've got the Castrol 48, that comes in at 1.5 kilos. Then you've got the more fully featured bag, which is the Atmos, and that comes in at 2 kilos. So actually at 1.7 kilos, it sits between the two, and for only £89 actually represents really good value in terms of weight. The bag has been designed anatomically to fit a man, and it's for carrying loads up to 15 kilos. That's comparable with the bags from Osprey as well. Now, the main material on this bag is polyamide, which is stronger for any given weight of polyester as found on a lot of older bags. Now, this particular material feels quite light, so it is a light bag, but it still should be relatively strong. So as we get into the main features of this bag, let's talk about the essential features first. Now, on a bag that's sort of 50 litre capacity, you really do want a padded hip belt because that will help take the pressure off your back and your shoulders. Now, the hip belt on this bag is actually very, very good. The first thing is it's quite wide and very well padded, so that really does make it quite comfortable. But the other thing that's really clever about this bag is the tensioning system. Now, a lot of bags, what they do is you put the belt on and then you have to kind of pull this way in order to kind of get the tension and tighten it up. What Decathlon have done, they've looked at how the human body works and how you can get more force, because doing it this way can actually be a bit of a challenge. So the way Decathlon have done it is you just take the end of the bag, so you grab them like this, and then you pull forwards. And it sounds like a small thing, but it's so much easier to do, and you can get a lot more force and pressure that way to get this bag nice and tight where you want to. So really good design feature, well done for that one. Now, the other thing I really like about this hip belt is you have two very generous pockets here with access to zips. That means you can put things like your phone, your compass, snacks, things like that in that bag, and you don't actually have to go into your bag and take it off in order to get things. So again, really, really handy, and I don't think I'd ever buy another bag now unless it had these hip pockets, because once you've used them, it's very, very hard to go back to not using them. And the final thing I really like about this belt is it really is quite long. And if you're a more generously proportioned gentleman like myself, I've currently got a 40-inch waist at the moment, there's plenty of strap left in here. This fits me really well, and I've got plenty of strap left over. So if I did want to eat more pork pies, I can still continue to wear this bag, so I'm really happy about that. This rucksack has a really good sternum strap, and it has a range of adjustability of about 16 centimetres vertically. So that means you can make sure you get it in the right place. Now, it's also quite long as well. I've got a 48-inch chest, and this fits me perfectly. Now, I know if I want to, I've got about 7 centimetres of chest strap left over, so I can make this wider if I need to. So that's a really big bonus for me, because even when I was slim, I had a 46-inch chest, and I found that you know, a lot of rucksacks, they just weren't big enough for me. So this is a really big bonus for me. The other essential feature on a bag this size is to have an adjustable back, because it's really important that that hip belt sits on your hips and takes the pressure off your shoulders. And the only way you're going to do that is with an adjustable back. Now the way you adjust this bag is there's an easy Velcro tab inside. You just slip your hand inside and then you can move up and down. I'll show you how that works. Just excuse the sound for a second. So you just separate the Velcro, and then this whole bag should just lift out like this. And again, you've got lots of different sizes there, and that really makes a big difference to comfort. So adjustable back, really important. Okay, so let's get into the pockets and the openings on this bag, which are really quite extensive. So first of all, you can just unclip this, and you can load this bag like any typical bag and load it through the top there, and that's normal for any bag. But the killer feature of this bag I really like is this whole front zips away, so you can get the stuff near the bottom. So all you do there is you zip these down, this whole front just comes away, and then you've now got access to everything near the bottom of your bag too. And this means you don't have to get everything out when you get to camp. You can just get the stuff near the bottom, which is so convenient. Now there are luggage straps in here, so you can pack this, horizontally like a suitcase, and all your stuff doesn't fall out, which is really well thought out. And the other thing that's really well thought out is the colour codes of the straps. So the internal straps are this coyote brown colour, and the external straps, I should say, are black. And that means when you're trying to sort of clip things together, you don't get them mixed up and do the outer straps to the inner bag. Really well thought out and a good design feature. Now inside the bag, this main compartment actually can be separated into two different compartments. At the moment that is engaged, so I'll show you how you get access to the stuff at the very bottom if the sort of separator has been sort of engaged. So first of all, let me just zip this back up. Okay, so you've got a separate zip here at the bottom. You can just undo, and now you can get access to all the stuff that's right at the bottom there. And again, you don't have to pull everything out. So it's so convenient when you get to camp or you want something from the bottom of your bag. You don't have to go rummaging around. It's just where you need it. Really, really convenient. And this is, I think, is an absolute really killer feature of this bag, and I do love it a lot. Now in terms of other pockets on this bag, you've got two very generous side pockets, one on each side, and these are bellowed, which means when they're not in use, they tend to be quite streamlined and they lie flat, but they can actually expand quite a long way. Now you access them with a zip on the side, and that will go all the way down here to about here, which is almost the bottom of the bag, and extends all the way up to the very top of the bag. So really nice, big, generous pocket there, and really well thought out. You've also got a mesh pocket on each side as well, and these are useful for all sorts of things, but as a person who has dogs and often walk with my dogs, what I find is really useful to put my dog poo in these bags, because it means if I put it inside my bag, it will just smell of poo, but here it will just kind of vent off into the air, and it means it doesn't smell as much. So really good feature to have on a bag if you're a dog walker or have dogs. Now there's also a similar sort of pocket on the front here. This is a much larger mesh pocket, and this one is big enough that you can put kind of a scrunched up rain shell in here. So if you want to keep your wet rain jacket away from the rest of your gear, then it fits in this pocket really nicely, and it can dry out without getting the internal bag wet. You've also got a really big generous pocket on the front here. Now on the later model, there's actually an elasticated top on here, so you can stash stuff to the top as well, like a rain jacket if you wanted to. But this one is the older model, it doesn't have that. But the pocket is very generous, so just open that up. And this will expand quite a long way. You can put all sorts of different things in here. I think it's good to have things you need to grab easily, so stuff like your first aid kit. I've got a dog water bottle here at the moment. But first aid kit, torch, hat, gloves, stuff you want to get access to easily, fits in there really nicely. There is actually, an internal zip as well, so you've got a mesh pocket, and you've also got a little keyring holder, although I wouldn't bother with that personally. Now on the inside, you also have another zip here, and this is where your waterproof cover comes in. So that comes supplied with the bag, and that's where it gets stored. You can there's a room in there for other things as well, if you wanted to. And finally, the other thing you can have is, on the side of the bag here, you also have a water bottle holder. And this is actually really useful. Although I use a bladder myself, I use a bladder and a hose system, that's more convenient. For the dogs, I find this really good because they have their own integrated water bottle and bowl, and that means that I can just take it out of here when we're walking. I don't have to go into my bag to get the bowls out. and I can give them a drink on the fly, which is really convenient. So if you're still using a water bottle, that's really good. It does come with a little holder here to keep the bottle in place, and it's just a really nice feature. Now inside the lid here, you've also got your space for your water bladder as well. So that just fits in a separate little compartment. There's a little divider here, and hopefully that would keep the the content a little bit drier if you were to get some sort of leakage, although I wouldn't guarantee it was completely waterproof. And that just fits in there. You hook the bag up using these two little hooks, and these are quite well designed. They just sort of clip on, work really well. And then there is a hole here. Let me just put my finger through, I'll show you the side. And then obviously you just route the hose through here and then down using these straps, and it just goes down your shoulder strap there, and then you've got access to your water when you want to without taking your bag off. The ventilation on the back of this bag is really quite good as well. Not only have you got this kind of mesh to kind of give you some extra airflow, but I don't know whether you can see, but underneath the foam material is actually ridged. So there's all these little ridges here, and then that allows the air to flow as well, so it's really quite good. And I do find when this is on my back, that's on the hip belt obviously, this part of the back, it tends to sit away from my back anyway, so there is an air gap, so I tend not to get hot and sweaty in this bag. In the new version of this bag, this actually be replaced, and this is kind of a mesh, so the whole bag kind of sits off the mesh lining and it's air behind, but I've not had a problem with the ventilation on this. It's been really good. A couple of other features to be aware of. The bag has hangers here for walking poles, and these are quite handy because one, you've got somewhere to stash your poles, but if you're sort of walking dogs like I do quite often I'll leave my hands free to control the dogs, specifically if I'm going through farmland or agriculture where there could be kind of cows and sheep and that kind of thing around. I want to kind of stash my poles away so I've got my hands free for the dogs. So that is a really good feature to have, really useful. Other external features are this little grab handle here, and all bags tend to have a grab handle, that's nothing new, but do get in the habit of using that and picking your bag up this way rather than grabbing it by the lid, because that is much weaker and the chances are you could damage your bag if you do that. Now the only other feature I'm aware of with this bag you need to think about is these. So these are the straps at the bottom of the bag, and this can be used to secure things like a roll mat or a sleeping bag or a tent perhaps. I wouldn't really put a sleeping bag underneath, a tent would be better. So you could attach them underneath quite easily. And on the new model, I believe these are sort of hidden away until you need them. So these are kind of hidden at sight. They sit like a little compartment and you just get them out when you need to. But they have the same design, the same purpose. So that's what they're for. Good little feature. So near the start of this video, I said that I wouldn't buy this bag again, and that I'd tell you why at the end. So I think it's fair that I do that. Now the first reason is, right at the bottom of this bag, right here, there is something hard. I don't know what it is. I think it's part of the internal frame. But the where it is and what it does is it just tends to sit on my waistband and pull my trousers down. So when I'm walking along, I'm constantly pulled up the back of my trousers like this, and that is literally a pain in the arse for me. So for that reason alone, I wouldn't buy this bag again. The second reason, and this is more a personal reason, is I just don't like the styling that much. I like the fact that the buckles are kind of coyote and things. It matches with my smock here, but generally it's just not what I'm looking for. I prefer something in a more natural colour, like a coyote brown, a khaki, olive green, that kind of thing. So that's what I would go for next time, as opposed to something like this, because this is more of a kind of ultra modern trekking type bag, and that might be what a lot of people are after, but for me it's just not my personal choice. So that shouldn't put you off, but obviously it does me. Now the third reason is the materials that they've used and the way they feel, and this is a big thing for me, because to me the materials just feel too light. All the buckles feel underspecified, and it feels like it could tear, that it could break at any minute. Now I've got to be honest and say this is a deeply visceral response as opposed to a logical one, because I've had this bag 3 years, I've been using it 2 years quite actively, and I've not had a problem with this bag. It's been absolutely fine. It's stood up to wear and tear. I've got no scuffs on it. It looks brand new. So it's just the way it makes me feel. I feel when I'm using this bag that I've got to baby it and look after it, while I prefer a bag that I can just throw on the ground and not worry about it. I don't abuse my stuff, but I don't want to have to worry about it. And that's what I do with this bag. I do try and baby it a little bit. So that is another reason for me why I wouldn't buy it. Now I've got to say, this is probably just because I've tended to use military kit in the past, and that stuff is just really robust. It's been designed to withstand war, and it's just there. And that stuff you do just use and abuse. But for this, it just feels a little bit fragile. Although again, in reality, not had any problems. So once again, I hope you thought that was useful. Until next time.